De Bruyne's corner. Haaland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back for another deadline stream. Hopefully you can hear me all right. It's my first stream on my new desk setup. How was everyone's international break? Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, I'm on a brand new desk. I also got a new PC over the break, so this is my new stream setup where I'm sitting right now. So I've got like this standing desk. I probably won't mess with it right now because I don't want to mess it up, but I can like raise and lower the desk. So the theory is, because I sit here so much, I can like start using that to stand while I work, and it's meant to be good for your circulation and all this sort of stuff. So a bigger desk, Teddy's in the building somewhere, new PC as well, so it's been a productive international break. I went away with Miss Focal as well. I don't know if any of you saw my tweet, but I had an absolute disaster on this holiday with Miss Focal. We went to Gran Canaria, and on the last day, we're coming home, we get to the airport, and I'm patting my pockets, and I'm like, where's my passport? It was in my pocket, I swear. And obviously we like emptied the bags out, we looked everywhere for my passport, and it wasn't there. So we were like, where's that gone? Our flight's in an hour. So we like quickly realised we've missed the flight, we're not going to make it home. So then we asked someone at the airport, we were like, what do we do? And they said, oh yeah, no, it's fine. You can just get an emergency passport. It takes about 48 or so hours. And I was like, what? I can't be stuck here for another 2+ days. So we ended up getting like a taxi back to the hotel. And we had to like basically ask at reception. We had to go search in the room. We looked everywhere. We looked at where we parked the car. The passport wasn't there. So then we were like, well, we went to the supermarket. So then we went to the supermarket and we were like, excuse me, have you seen the passport? And they were like, no, really sorry, no passport. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be stuck here, because that was the last place we thought to look. So we got a taxi back to the airport, and I was just saying to Miss Focal, like, you're going to have to just leave and just leave me here. And on the way to the airport, we were like, oh, we could just try the car rental place, because we had a car rental, so we went back there, wasn't in the car. And then we thought, well, we'll just go to the petrol station as well, because we had to top the car up before we returned it. So we went there, and I asked behind the counter, and they were like, no passport, impossible. So I was like, oh my God, I'm literally going to be stuck in this country now, not getting home. And literally as I was getting back into the taxi, you know, some countries have someone that fills the car up for you. Just as I was getting back into the taxi, I hear someone shout, passport, passport. And it had fallen out of my pocket. as I was getting out of the car to fill it up. So yeah, this guy had my passport. I gave him like the biggest hug, jumped back in the taxi, and we managed to get on the next flight. Very stressful, but got home in the end, and I'm back. And I'm back to stream the next deadline. So welcome all to the stream. Good to see you all. We've got PWR here. We've got Abdullah, BJ, under 16, Samion, I Love Fantasy Football, Emmanuel, JKP, Elliot, Sadman, CH, Wayne, Crazy Vods. Welcome all of you to the stream. Let me just flick this here. Right. Perfect. Yeah, get your questions in. My bench boost is active. Is anyone else bench boosting this week? And what transfers is everyone making? Anyone on an international break wildcard? Any other chips? You're that petrol station guy. Shout out to C-Mac. How are we doing, FPL Addict? Good to see Tark Drace. Ed's in the chat. Good to see you. MT's on a bench boost. Yeah, I'm gonna get it out of the way. I wanted to use it before the international break, and I didn't use it in the end because there was a couple of little doubts, like João Pedro and Gabriel. In the end, they both played, and I'm just hoping everyone plays this game week. Because, I mean, what do you guys think? I think that bench is just worth getting out of the way now. I don't think there's going to be. There might be better opportunities, but stuff can just go wrong. Like I could get 2 injuries this game week, and then I'm up against it. Oh, I've just been tagged in something from FPL Family. I was at Sam from FPL Family's birthday party last night. Oh, it's the photo. I don't know if that's going to show. I've got the printout as well. So that was their 40th. So I was there last night. I'm a little bit ropey today. I did have a few, but I'm all right. But I did drop my phone when I got back, so that's pretty devastating. I don't know what's happened to me lately. Like the passport, dropping my phone, just getting a bit clumsy. As long as I don't get clumsy with my FPL team. Where'd you get the chair from? Oh, it's an Amazon purchase. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an Amazon purchase. Pretty cheap purchase. RIP phone. I'm just kind of glad it's the back rather than the front, if anything. Like if I was going to crack the back or the front, obviously I'd say back, but yeah, a bit annoying. Enzo update. Oh, that is the big question, because I was going to buy Enzo for Ndai this game week. So he wasn't seen in training, and Maresca said he's not been training. And he also said the same about Caicedo though, which is strange, because there was a couple of pics of Caicedo, but he wasn't necessarily at training. But there was pictures of Caicedo like in the dressing room, getting ready, and there was a picture of him coming out, but it wasn't actually a picture, as far as I've seen, or a video of Caicedo training, and certainly nothing of Enzo. There was literally one video of Enzo getting out of his car, arriving at Chelsea. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it now, and I'll buy him next game week. So basically, Palmer's out for another 6 weeks, Maresca said. So, Enzo, I just think, is such an unbelievable option when Palmer's out, because he's probably on pen. It could be João Pedro, but I like the idea of having guaranteed pen taker. Yeah, and obviously when Palmer's out, like he tends to play more advanced. He's like the box crashing cam, so I think he's an awesome option. And then you look at their fixture run as well, and it's Forest, Sunderland, Spurs, Wolves, Burnley. So even if I don't buy him this week, I'll buy him next instead. So I really want Enzo, and I wanted to buy him this game week, but he's just not been training, so it seems a bit risky. I don't think I'm going to take that risk. Alderete as well, yeah, so he went off for Paraguay injured over the break, and he was spotted in training, so he should be alright. Obviously we don't know like the severity of the injury, like he could just be nursing through it and he's not ready to start, but he was seen in training, so I think that's quite promising if you've got him. If you've got him, you have to start him. Unless you've got a really stacked defence, but obviously they've got Wolves home, so I would be inclined to play him. Your bench boosting this week, should you sell Richarlison for a -4? Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at the Spurs predictor lineups, and they've got Tell up front. But where do you go? I'd be inclined to just leave it. The reason being, right now I think there's more value in the mids. Do you guys agree with that? And what I could see myself doing, once I've got the bench boost out of the way, is potentially shift to a 3-5-2. And that would involve downgrading one of the forwards and upgrading the mid. So you might want to go Richarlison to, I don't know, Gw or Marshall or Obi or whatever. Some dead spot in your team. And then upgrade a mid, if that makes sense. So I think potentially don't sell Richarlison, let alone for a hit. Sohan says, "Hey Oscar, start 2 out of Enzo, Minte and Sarr." I think Enzo, he probably starts or doesn't play at all. So I'd start Enzo and I'd start Sarr. Minte first on bench. Scythe Gamer, thanks for the 3 months as well. Do you think Chalobah/Burn is a good attacking defender? I mean, attacking defenders, we're talking about the fullbacks. In terms of centre-backs, I mean, Chalobah, I think he's scored a couple, hasn't he, already? So he's up there in terms of aerial threat. And I'd say the same about Burn. Yeah, I mean, as far as centre-backs, decent attacking threat, but I wouldn't count on attacking returns from them, if you know what I mean. And in Burn's case, actually, I think he's going to be playing left-back. I think it'll be Thor and Botman in the centre-back, because Hall's out injured, Livramento's injured, so I think Burn might end up playing left-back. Where's Teddy? He's around. I'm not sure where he's gone. He was here. He dipped as soon as I started getting the stream set up, but I'm sure he'll be back. Are you not tempted to shift Bruno to Saka? The thing is, I'd have to sell Gyökeres as well. And is that definitely worth me spending 2 transfers right now? There could be other ways I get to Saka. In fact, let's play around with that now. What would that look like? Because I could sell Gyökeres at some point. I'm not going to do it this game week. But if I, like, after I've got the bench boost out of the way, like I said, I could go to a 3-5-2. So I could do something like Gyökeres to Gw, and that leaves me with 5 mil in the bank. So it's a bit tight. Technically, I can afford stack to Saka with 0.1 million in the bank spare. So it's quite tight. But look, I could do something like that. And obviously, but then I can't afford Enzo. Oh my god, minus 0.1 million. That's so annoying. Is there anything worse than being minus 0.1 million on moves you like? But yeah, something like that. I don't even know what the third move would be to unlock Saka. But yeah, there's loads of ways I could go. Maybe something else will pop up, or maybe I'd have to sell Anderson or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe there's another path where I sell Raya and keep Gyökeres and go double attack. Because obviously Arsenal's fixtures are really nice. I don't dislike the double attack. Joel says, bench boost if Enzo's in the team, swap him out for 1 week. I definitely wouldn't swap him out for 1 week. It's just a waste of a transfer. If he's in your team, do you bench boost? I think it also depends on the rest of your bench, Joel, because obviously being a player down is not great if he does miss out. And I'm not getting a good feeling about Enzo, if I'm honest. The fact that he's not been seen in training photos and videos, and he's not posted anything on his Instagram, so it's either the greatest FPL cover-up job of all time, because he always posts something on his Instagram before games, but he's not posted anything. So is that another clue? Is that a breadcrumb? If you've got a really solid rest of your bench in terms of the other 3 players, then I would still use it. Otherwise, I'd probably just wait, if you can, until game week 9 instead, Joel, I would say. Chef says, Enzo's on my bench, I've had enough. Thoughts on Caicedo? Yeah, again, he's not actually been seen, as far as I'm aware, in any training photos and videos. Just a photo of him like getting ready in the dressing room. So if you've got him, keep him, but I probably wouldn't buy him this week, if that makes sense. Don't buy, don't sell sort of thing. Would you bench boost Dubravka, Van Dijk, Minte and Senesi? Definitely, yeah. Definitely. Just pick Esteval. Can we trust him yet to get consistent starts? I'm not sure if we can. Maybe he'll be pretty safe while Palmer's out, but I think right now it's still a little bit risky, but I really like Esteval. It's clearly an international injury. Yeah, but then it's surprising that we've not seen him training at all. Like, at least some photo or anything. We've not seen anything. I looked everywhere. Morning, Chris. How you doing, mate? I looked everywhere. Like, Chelsea uploaded a 7-minute video yesterday, and there's actually one clip that's got Enzo in it, but it's just him arriving at the building. He's not in any of the training footage, so I don't know. And I think Enzo Maresca said if he doesn't train, then he'll be out, and he didn't train. So it puts me off buying him for one more week. Nimla says, hi Oscar in chat, I'm on the bench boost. You've got 3 free transfers, Bruno and Romero out, Saka and Juve in, and the question is, do I play Alderete or use the third free transfer on Mukiele? I would take the chance on it, on Alderete starting. I wouldn't spend a transfer on that. He was seen training, so that's encouraging. I'll see if I can find the photos for those of you that have got Alderete. Some eagle-eyed people in the FPL community spotted him. Here's one. That's him there. And there was another pic as well, if I can find it. Oh, and there's also this. Alderete's post on Instagram 20 minutes before the photo of him appearing in training photos. So he's posted that as well. So I don't know. I think I wouldn't spend a transfer there. I think that's potentially a waste. Mr. F says, welcome back, Focal. How was the holiday? Made a Salah to Haaland wildcard draft, and it's Pope, Gabriel, Timber, Mukiele, Salah, Enzo, Reinders, Paquetá, Rice, Haaland and João Pedro. And the bench is Dubravka, DCL, Rodon and Goodmanson. Your bench boosting in Gameweek 9 as well. For me, it's just too many sacrifices. It's too many sacrifices on a Salah and Haaland draft, let alone on a bench boost where you also need to have money on your bench. Obviously, if Salah just suddenly pops off and gets back to his best form, then it's great, but it's a lot of sacrifices elsewhere. So I would rather just have Saka over Salah and then spread the rest of the money around as well. And you've got 3 4-mil defenders as well. It's just asking for trouble, I think. I don't like it personally. I would just go without Salah. If I was wildcarding, I'd be on no Salah. But in terms of a Salah and Haaland draft and a bench boost, yeah, that's the best you can do. But I don't like it. It's too many sacrifices. Like 3 4-mil defenders. Rice could be okay. Paquetá, yeah, nice fixtures. Don't hate that. I personally wouldn't go Salah. I would just get Saka instead. And yeah, so you get rid of Rice and Salah, you get Saka and Sarr instead. That's what I would do. Starboy, thanks for the 27 months. He says, hi Focal, Wood and Murillo to Burn and João Pedro for a -4. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, didn't he drop as well last night? What were the price changes? Oh wow, Haaland went up again. Did anyone get 4 out of 4 rises? No, I guess no one's got Bowen and Voltemada and Haaland, do they? So I had Haaland and Semenyo go up. João Pedro went down. Oh, I think I bought him for 7.8 as well. He needs to start scoring. Watkins went down. That's about it. So yeah, I think I would do that for -4. Yeah, it's just you got to get off the Forest assets, let alone when they've got Chelsea. Yeah, I would do that. Bertman says Richarlison to Thiago, an upgrade. You've got 5 free transfers and the bench boost this week. Yeah, it is. Like I was saying earlier, Bertman, longer term, I think once the bench boost is out of the way, I can see a lot of people shift into a 3-5-2. Like if João Pedro starts scoring, then I think Haaland, João Pedro, and then you have Saka over Gyökeres. I could see the template shifting that way. What do you guys think? Saka over Gyökeres now? Or is it still too early to say? Because it was just a penalty that Saka scored. And obviously Saka's more injury prone. Things can change fast in FPL. I say it every week, but like if Saka blanks this week, Gyökeres scores, or maybe Gyökeres takes the next penalty. Like I actually don't think it's definitive that Saka's on penalties. I don't know if you guys think... Do you guys agree with that, or is that delusion? I still don't think that Gyökeres is definitely off penalties. I think there's a chance he takes the next one. It was Saka's 200th game, I believe. And that goal was to be his 100th goal involvement. I think that's right. I think I've got that the right way around. 100 goal involvements in his 200th game. So it was kind of like a milestone opportunity. So I don't know. I still think it's murky. And for me, it's not worth spending 2 transfers right now. But I can see people shifting that way. If it keeps trending towards that. I don't see why you can't do both. Yeah, that's true as well. Like I think... I said this earlier. I'd have to sell Raya. So it's difficult if you're in a triple up like me. But yeah, you could go... Raya out. I don't think I'd sell Gabriel, but I'd have to sell Raya to Pope or something, and then find a way to squeeze Saka in. But yeah, it's multiple transfers either way. I don't know how it would work though, because I'd sell Raya and I'd have to get... I don't have the funds for it. I'd have to go Raya down to a 4.5 mil keeper. Maybe that's worth it. I've only got 0.3 million in the bank with this draft. Anyway, thank you all for jumping on this stream so early. We're 20 minutes in. Do hit like if you're enjoying the stream and subscribe below. I do these streams every week if you didn't know. I make FPL content, so hit subscribe. It's completely free. Yeah, in terms of this week, I think I would do it, but man, if you're on a bench boost, there's a world where you end up keeping Thiago. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I think the options are limited and he's the best you can do. Oivin says, wildcard thoughts, Pope Dubravka, Kukurea, Botman, Timber, Juve, Rodon, Saka, Enzo, Sarr, Paquetá and Mbumo, Sesko, Voltemada and Haaland, best of luck. There's a few punts in there. Sesko, I don't think I'd have Voltemada in a wildcard either. Depends on if you've used your bench boost though. I don't know if you've used your bench boost. What would my wildcard be? Let's try and work it out. If you've used your bench boost, then I would have... I think I'd go Marshall. I actually think there's a chance that Marshall starts. He'll definitely get minutes because of the Fpl injury. I would have Enzo. I know he's flagged, but I'd have him, and you can have the bench cover if needed. I'd have Sarr. I've got 3.2 mil in the bank. What am I missing? I'm missing Saka. Who would I lose, though? Bruno? I mean, if anyone's on a wild card, does it resemble this? I'm guessing it's not far off. Pope in goal and then Timber. How have I got so much money in the bank? What have I missed here? I've got 1.4 mil in the bank still with that. Maybe upgrade Reinders. Reinders to Paquetá. I mean, West Ham have got nice fixtures. New manager bounce potentially. Yeah, he's on pens. Something like that. Still got 1.1 million in the bank, but maybe that would be my wild card. I probably wouldn't have Sesko or Voltemada. But if you haven't bench boosted, then obviously you have to account for that. So then you could just keep Reinders and upgrade that third forward spot. So that'd be Reinders, and you've got 5.8 million there. Something along those lines to be the foundation. Maybe you'd have to downgrade Vardy to get a better third forward if you needed to bench boost. Marshall to DCL. God, everyone's buying DCL, aren't they? What's going on with that? How's the new setup? New setup is unbelievable. My desk is like twice as wide. Got a new PC as well, so yeah, really nice setup here. It feels a lot less claustrophobic. So yeah, couldn't be happier. And I was saying earlier, I've got a standing desk now and it's got a little remote on it so I can go up and down. I won't move it now just in case like a cable comes out, but yeah, I should be able to move it up and then work standing up. I might actually try doing a stream standing up sometime. Are you going to bench boost? Yeah, bench boost is active. No, I wouldn't buy Enzo this week. It feels a little bit risky now. I really wanted to buy him for Ndiaye, but he's not been seen training. We just don't even know if he's with the squad or not. So it just puts me off. And he always posts on Instagram before the game. I saw Harry tweeted this, and he hadn't posted on Instagram. So I think I'm going to reluctantly swerve, unless something happens during the stream that's like a revelation and he's like in the squad or something. Ash, thanks for the 27 months. Says, welcome back, Oscar. Play Alderete or Rodon? I'd play Alderete, personally, and just hope that he starts, because the clean sheet odds I think will be better. Let's check that. Oh wow, hang on. 36% for Leeds, 34%. Okay. No, I played Rodon. I mean, it's 2% in it, to be fair, but I just figured Sunderland got the home fixture, and it's not like Wolves are ripping it up. But given the flag as well, and Leeds 2% better clean sheet odds, play Rodon. Holiday was great, Jago. I was telling a story about my passport at the start of the stream. I got to the airport and I was like, where's my passport? You have to rewind towards the start of the stream to get that story. It was a stressful end to the holiday, but it worked out in the end. We did end up missing the flight, but they upgraded us to the front row on the next flight because they felt sorry for us. And Miss Focal said, in a weird way, it worked out because it made us even closer, because it was just absolute chaos, but we just kind of got on with it together. And we had loads of time at the airport in the end. We had like nice dinner in a booth. We watched something on the iPad together. So yeah, it worked out weirdly in the end. But yeah, it was very stressful losing the passport and missing the flight. Nah, Miss Focal, not married. Anyway, so Arsenal 50%, Man City 42%, Leeds 36%, in third place. Sunderland 4th place, 34%, and then it's Tottenham, Liverpool, Palace. Liverpool have got the top projected goals, 2.3, Man City 2.1, then it's Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Palace, and then Newcastle, West Ham, Brighton and Leeds are all tied there. That's the team, discreet. I was going to do Ndiaye to Enzo, but I'm going to leave it. Caicedo posted on his story, so he plays. I think he probably does, because he was actually photographed in the dressing room, like coming out, and there was a photo of him seemingly in training, but you couldn't tell. He was kind of just like laughing at something in training, and it looked like it was training anyway. But there hasn't been any photos like that of Enzo, so that just puts me off. It could be like unbelievable mind games from Maresca, and it's definitely going to be a learning moment if Enzo ends up playing. Anyway, I'll keep going with the super chat. Sorry, I'm a bit behind here. Mark says, hello Oscar, glad the international break's over. You went against my advice to wildcard in Gameweek 7, 68 points. Very nice, 716k, and you're on a wildcard this week. Which option? Oh, okay, I got you now. You're on a wildcard this week. Which option, defence, mid and forward? Burn, King and Gw, or Mukiele, Baleba and Foster? So do you still need to bench boost, Mark, or not? Have you got Salah or something? Because the problem is here, you can't have King and Gw. I don't like that. I think that's too much. Sorry, too little spent in two spots there. Because King, if he does start, is going to be coming off early. Not a nailed starter, and Gw definitely not. Baleba I don't like. Foster's okay. I did a wildcard draft just now, and it was like that. If you need to bench boost, then yeah, you just get some third forward like Foster or Calvert-Lewin perhaps, because he's flagged. Something like that if you needed to bench boost still. If you don't, then just get Marshall perhaps, because I think he might get some minutes now. And that's got 1.4 mil in the bank as well, so something like that. Maybe Reinders to Paquetá. If I was wildcarding, it'd be like that. I don't really like either of those options, Mark, if I'm honest, that you presented there. Evan, thanks for the 26 months. He says, would you have Enzo on a wildcard this week? I would indeed, yeah. That would be the wildcard draft. If he doesn't play, then you'll have someone good off the bench anyway. I guess you'd play Gabriel, Timber, Vardio, and then you've got Mukiele off the bench if he doesn't play. Nimla, thank you very much for becoming a member as well. Thank you very much for becoming a FPL Focal supporter. Appreciate you. Gaz Bailey says, hi Oscar, Salah, Tarkowski and Dye to Saka, Timber and Voltemada. Bench boost activated, nothing in the bank. The team is template-ish with Haaland, Semenyo, Van der Ven, Raya, or just get Saar. Yeah, if the bench boost is active, I would make those moves. Yeah, I would do it, because Tarkowski's got City as well. And I just think, yeah, Salah's just taken up too much money. Saka's great, Timber's great. Yeah, and Dye and Tarkowski got City. On a bench boost, I would do that. Nice moves, Gaz. Yeah, I don't think I would just do Ndiaye to Saar. I would rather do all three of those moves and improve your team across the board on the bench boost. Because realistically, you'd probably have to bench Tarkowski and Ndiaye. Will says, Mukiele or Senesi, no bench boost. In terms of what, who to start? Probably Mukiele. Sunderland 34% on the clean sheet odds. Where are Bournemouth? 22%. Probably Mukiele, yeah. Go Mukiele. James Storky as well. Thanks very much for the super chat. No message. If you meant to put a message with that, James, chuck it in the chat and I'll try and read it. Is that there? Best 1 week punt for the bench boost before wildcard and next week. Best 1 week punt. Maybe Saar, home to Bournemouth. Depends which position you're talking about as well. Like Calvert-Lewin, Burnley away, 1 week punt. I don't hate it. For 1 week. I won't be that comfortable having DCL long term because he is a shocking finisher. But DCL is a good shout. Yeah, Saar. In terms of defenders, like a Timber perhaps. Yeah, it depends on the position. But hopefully those suggestions help. Pope or Dubravka? I would say Pope. Are you bench boosting? I am indeed, yeah. Bench boost is active. Who to bench? Caicedo or João Pedro? I would bench Caicedo there. John and Alan, thanks for the 22 months. Play Tarkowski, Alderete or Senesi? I would say Alderete. Definitely not Tarkowski. He probably gets Defcons, but I just cannot imagine Everton keeping a clean sheet at the Etihad. So, Alderete. I'd put Tarkowski behind Senesi on the bench as well. Yash says, got 2 free transfers. You've got triple Arsenal, 3.9 mil in the bank. So Saka's not an option. Others in midfield are Semenyo, Gordon and Reinders and King. Can you suggest a Xavi replacement? Do you need to sell him this week, Yash? Because you could go Saar. He'd be your best option this week. I can't help but think, like, and this is why I'm not going to sell and die this week. I can't help but think buying Enzo next week could be better than buying Saar now. That might not be true and it might play out differently, but I just think Enzo's so good with Palmer out. But this week it's a gamble. But I think I would rather wait a week and not sell and die and then buy Enzo next week as opposed to buying Saar now. But if you have no choice but to sell Xavi, then Saar's your best option. If that makes sense. Is the bench boost a good idea this week? Well, it's completely team dependent. Like, in any given week, someone could have a strong bench and it'd be a good week to use it for them. This week, I've got a pretty solid bench. I mean, I've got a few 50-50s there, like Mukiele, Senesi, Stack and Dye, Raya, Dubravka even. But either way, like the entire squad, the 15 players, are solid if they all play. So for me, it's a decent week to use it. Anderson, obviously, Arsenal, not great. But other than that, I think it makes sense to just get it out of the way in my position. Wildcard team. This was the wildcard draft that we put together. If you've already bench boosted. It's got 1.4 mil in the bank as well, so you might find something to use that on. And if Enzo doesn't play, then you get the auto sub. And Mark says, I've still got the free hit and bench boost, and you're too stubborn or scared to go without Salah. I'll have Eze, Timber and Gabriel on the wildcard, Pedro and Semenyo and Senesi. Appreciate it. I don't think you need to be scared of Salah. I mean, what's his ownership, guys? What's Salah's ownership right now? I don't think it's scary, is it? I don't think you need to be scared of Salah's ownership. Like, he must be lower owned than a lot of other players now at this stage, when people are mostly on Haaland. Yeah, I get it. It's like, if Salah suddenly starts performing, then he is the ultimate differential in a crazy way. 36%. I wonder what that is at the higher ranks. Like, I bet, let's have a look. I bet you at top 10k it's something crazy low. I guess I'll look on live FPL. Salah. So it was 30% last week. It was 37% in the 1 to 1.5 mil rank range. 36% overall. And I bet you that'll plummet even lower. That's surprising, actually. 30% last game week. Higher than I thought it would be. But yeah, anyway, it's not that high, is the point I was making. So personally, I would go without him and spread the money around. Which is how this wildcard looks. You can just do so much, and that's still got 1.4 million in the bank. So you could have maybe someone like Paquetá for the upcoming fixture run. But it's still 1.1 million in the bank, so there's loads you can do there. Nothing wrong with having that in the bank either. Like, you never know where you're going to need that money, so something like that. Or if you need to bench boost, then you could have DCL over Marshall. You can still afford that, plus Paquetá. Adidans, thank you for the 30 months. Says, should I go and die to Enzo, given that he hasn't trained? No, I'm not going to do it now, myself. Unless something comes out during this stream, but I don't think it will at this stage. Maybe if we see like a photo or a video that he's with the squad. Otherwise, I wouldn't chance it. I'm just going to leave it. Actually, what I will say, just thinking out loud on that. If you've got a team something like mine, and you've already bench boosted, then actually I think you could take the chance. Because either way, you're going to want him in Game Week 8. And if he starts this week, a lot of people are swerving him because of the doubt. But if you've got a solid bench, like, I don't know, Stack or Mukiele, something like that, then I actually don't hate it this week buying Enzo. But if you're on a bench boost like me, you've got more at stake, basically. Because on a bench boost, you need 15 out of 15 to play. So I'm less tolerant of risks. But if I wasn't on the bench boost, I think I'd probably do it, you know. If you've got the good bench depth. Like Stack, Burnley away, or Mukiele, Wolves home. Actually, I should probably go like that. I think Stack ahead of him. I mean, Stack with Burnley away, I think that's perfectly good. I mean, some people are saying his spot is under threat. I think he'll be alright this game. He didn't have a good game before the break. But is it Tanaka? Is that his name? He went on international duty. And I think he might... Not Tanaka, he plays for Leeds. Who am I thinking of? Sorry, that is right. Tanaka. I'm still waking up, apparently. It is Tanaka, yeah. I was thinking Sunderland, but it's Tanaka, yeah. I mean, he could be the one that potentially would start. And he was on international duty, so I think Stack's fine. I think Longstaff has been taking corners, which is an issue. Because that was part of Stack's appeal, the set pieces. But yeah, I think he's fine to play. I'll take that chance. Tuna, thanks for the 3 months, says, is Tarkowski a sell? Best replacement, you've got triple Arsenal. Depends, first of all, if you need to start him or not. I don't think his prospects are that great, City away. Let's be honest, they're not keeping a clean sheet there. But you've got triple Arsenal, so where do you go? could go to Senesi, but their fixtures aren't that great either. Palace, Forest are okay, I guess, but then they've got City and Villa. It's Game Week 12, the fixtures are nice again. If you've got someone on your bench, like a Leeds defender, a Sunderland defender, then I wouldn't sell him. Just play them instead. Mark says, should I bench boost? I've currently got Ride, Dubravka, Gabriel Lacroix, Porro, Cucurella, Esteve, Semenyo, Bruno Reinders, Sart and Dye, Gyökeres, Haaland, Gw8, 2 free transfers. You've also got the free hit available. So the problem here is you've still got your bench boost and you've got a dead spot in Gw8. So you've put yourself in a difficult position there because you need to ideally upgrade Gw8. And the only option you could do is Foster. But I don't actually know what the latest is on Foster. I saw he's flagged. Does anyone know what's going on with Foster? Because I'd be tempted to go Gw8 to Foster, get the bench boost out of the way if I was you. But it depends on Foster. It's probably better news than we initially thought. It seems to be a dead leg, so he travelled back this morning and he'll be in this afternoon. So we're hoping he'll be fine for the weekend. We'll have to wait and see when he comes in. If I was you, I would consider Gw8 to Foster and just get it out of the way. Because the rest of your team looks okay on paper. So that's what I would do. Save your second transfer. Buy Foster and get the bench boost out of the way. It's an overrated chip. And you need the stars to align on the bench boost. You need 15 out of 15 playing. Or you cannot activate it. Well, you technically can, but it's going to be a weaker bench boost if you're getting 3 players bench boosted. And that's something I would keep in mind for like future seasons, because you don't want to still have to use your bench boost and have Gw8. I'm guessing you might have wildcarded as well already. Maybe not. I think you probably have with that team. Maybe not. But that's what I would do. Yeah. Stack or Mukiele to start. I would say stack just about. Adam King, thanks for the super chat as well. No message on that. What did he say? Nothing. Egdo says, morning Focal, why is selling and die such a hot topic? He's been consistent from a points perspective. He has. Basically, I've got 4 free transfers. So I'm in a bit of a luxury position where I can take the chance that someone else is even better. And he does have City away as well. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to keep him now. Unless there's something that comes in during this deadline stream on Enzo. But right now, I'm going to keep him die. But Chelsea have got Forest away, Sunderland home, Spurs away, Wolves home, Burnley away. The next 5 are unbelievable. And now Maresca's also said that Parma's out for the next 6 weeks. So I think Enzo's a really nice option, and he does benefit from Parma being out. And obviously there's the pens as well, but not just that, his actual position during games. So that's why I think Enzo's got the potential to be somewhat better than Ndai's been. But yeah, I do take your point. Like, Ndai's not been shocking either. Like, he scored last game week for me. It was a penalty. But yeah, that's why. I think you could also make the case that Sarr is better than Ndai as well. Sarr and Enzo have had better underlying data than Ndai this season. And Sarr's missed a couple of games. But yeah, it's a bit luxury. Like, if I had 1 transfer or 2, then I never would consider it probably. Maybe I would, but it's quite luxury. Because, as you say, Ndai's been alright. But that's the reasoning. I mentioned in my videos this week, Enzo is the top midfielder in the league for non-penalty XGI. And that's non-penalty. He's taken a penalty as well. But if you put penalties aside, and you want to know how they've got on with the penalty aside, Enzo's top of all midfielders in the league. That's how good his underlying data's been. In Game Week 2 and 3, I think it was, he got 1 goal, 1 assist in both games with no Parma. So yeah, I just think he's such a great option with those fixtures. Mark says, as always, thanks for the insight and reasoning. The best FPL content creator out there. Like and subscribe, everyone. Wishing you all green arrows. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate the kind words. Thanks very much for that. Mr. F says, hey Oscar, wildcard draft is Pope, Gabriel, Timber. So I'll pull my wildcard draft up and we can compare notes. Pope, Gabriel, Timber, Vardiel, Rodon, Mukiele, Semenyo, Enzo, Saka, Stack, Paqueta, João Pedro, Haaland, Mateta, Dubravka. Yeah? So you've got 2 4-mil defenders in a nutshell. You've got Gabriel, Timber, Vardiel. So I can see that working. And it's basically set and forget premium defenders. Yeah? Yeah, I think that's really nice as well. And basically you've got Mateta, and then you've gone down to Stack in midfield. So yeah, I like that a lot. What I would say is Sarr better than Mateta in a nutshell? What do you guys think? Because you've got Mateta, and basically that's the difference. You've gone Mateta, I've gone Sarr. And isn't Sarr like $1 million cheaper? Mateta's 7.5 mil, yeah. So Sarr is literally $1 million cheaper. So is Mateta going to be 1 million better than Sarr? I think they're pretty close, and $1 million sets them apart. So that's why. But maybe you're on a bench boost as well, in which case, yeah, I think your setup's really nice. But that's a great wildcard draft. That's a really nice team. Let's actually get a poll going. Which chip have you got active? Wildcard, bench boost. I'll leave the triple captain out. I don't know if anyone's going triple captain. Maybe someone is. Poll is up. Get your votes in. Charlie says, tossing up the bench boost, wildcarded in Gameweek 6, and you've got the same team as me, except Alderete with the yellow flag instead of Mukiele. You've got 3 free transfers, so you're tempted to get Mateta and Sarr in for Gyökeres and Stack. What are your thoughts? I think spending 2 transfers to sell Gyökeres and Stack for Mateta and Sarr, it's such a close call, but that's potentially, I think that's potentially not an upgrade. I just look at that and I don't think that's definitely going to do better. Like, Stack's got Burnley away, the worst defence this season, Burnley. Gyökeres, I still think he's got a good chance of coming good, but I don't dislike the Mateta and Sarr picks. I think I probably wouldn't do that. And also, Mateta and Sarr have got Arsenal in Gameweek 9. I think if I was in your situation, I would do nothing and bench boost. As in, sorry, nothing as in no transfers and bench boost. And roll up to 4. Because he was seen in training, Alderete. There is that. So I think I would just get the bench boost out of the way. It's an overrated chip, and I don't think I'd buy Mateta and Sarr for those 2. It's one of those, Charlie, like, if Palace end up smashing Bournemouth, then obviously, like, wrong decision, but you also have to factor in Gameweek 9 when Palace have got Arsenal. So I just think I probably wouldn't do that. But I would bench boost and take the chance on Alderete. Cristobal says, I need to pick 2. Munoz, Mukiele and Bumo or Evan Nilsson. You've got double Arsenal defence. Gabriel and Timber locked and ready. Love the streams, Oscar. So 2 of Munoz, Mukiele and Bumo and Evan Nilsson. Well, I'd start Munoz. You've got to start Munoz pretty much every game. Mukiele and Bumo or Evan Nilsson. I think it'd be Evan Nilsson. I mean, they're all great, but I'd say Munoz and Evan Nilsson. Thanks, Cristobal. Appreciate that. Marcus, thanks for 38 months as well. He says, good morning, everyone. What is your plan this week? I'm looking to roll now. I was going to do and die to Enzo, but He's not been seen in training, Enzo. We're not even sure if he's travelled or not. It could be like a absolute top tier cover up from Maresca and he is with the team, but I'm on a bench boost. If I wasn't on the bench boost, I'd probably just buy Enzo because I'd have Stack coming off the bench. But yeah, now I think I'll probably just leave it and I'm going to roll. And I'll have 5 free transfers in Game Week 9. How many free transfers have you guys got? Is anyone on 5 yet? Or thereabouts? I've never had 5 before, so if I do end up rolling, it'll be the first time I've ever had 5. But yeah, I'm bench boosting Marcus. Treble says Gyökeres, Gudmundsson to DCL and Timber with the bench boost and you have Saka. No, I wouldn't do that. Gyökeres, Gudmundsson to DCL and Timber with the bench. No, that's a downgrade, surely. You have Saka. No, I'm not keen on that. 1 free transfer, 2, 3, 5. 6. Oh, I think my family have just come to pick up Teddy. Give me 2 secs. I'm just going to give Teddy to them. I'm back. Sorry about that. They just went to pick up Teddy. My family are picking up Teddy to go walk him. Right, so yeah, I wouldn't do that, Treble. Personally, I would keep Gyökeres and Gudmundsson. I mean, Leeds, they're 3rd on the clean sheet odds this week. I mean, Arsenal obviously are higher, but Gyökeres to Calvert-Lewin, not for me. Adam says, Kudus to Enzo, Bruno to Sarr. Do both or do none? Or 1. You've got 4 free transfers. I would say none. I've still got faith in Bruno. Maybe I'm deluded at this point. Is anyone keeping Bruno? I've still got faith in him. He's missed 2 penalties. He's been unlucky. If he scores both those pens, he's the 2nd top scorer mid after Semenyo. So, I don't know. I think I'm keeping Bruno for now. Probably gets DEFCON, perhaps, at Liverpool. Maybe not. He sold him for Saka. I mean, that's alright. I get that. But Adrian says yes to Bruno. I'm keeping him. Kudus to Enzo I really like, but not this week. I think it's too risky. Unless something transpires in this stream on Enzo, I would do that move in Game Week 9 instead. That'll be my plan now. I'm looking to sell and die for Enzo Game Week 9 instead. So 50% no chip active, 14% wildcard, 35% bench boost, 1% free hit. What did that say? You Bruno lovers are deluded. Alright, new poll. How many hits have you taken this season? None, -4, -8, -12 or more. Salah says 4 free transfers I can do and die to Enzo in 1 move. Or should I consider downgrading Gyökeres to a 5.9 mil mid and do Saka? What's your advice? I don't think I'd do Gyökeres to Saka with 2 moves. It feels a little bit sideways to me. And who even is there for 5.9 million? Like Calvert-Lewin? I'm not sure on that. I think the only world I would do and die to Enzo is if you've got really good bench cover, if he doesn't play at all. There is that risk that he's on the bench and comes on, but he probably starts or doesn't at all. So I'd only do and die to Enzo if you're not bench boosting and if you've got good cover, like, you know, Stack, for example, in my case. I would consider it then if I wasn't on a bench boost. But no, I don't think I'd do Gyökeres to Saka. I mean, are any of you guys doing that, or have you done that already, Gyökeres to Saka? I think you can make more of a case for it if you've already bench boosted and you go down to like a Mark Gu sort of dead spot forward, or if you've got more money for a nice third forward, like buying João Pedro, for example. Massey says, on a bench boost, you got Caicedo, risk it, bench boost 9 instead or sell. Caicedo, I would risk it. I think he's likelier to play than Enzo. I think he's likelier. You're pretty confident Stack won't start. Leeds fan here. Who starts then, George? Who would start in his place? I'm sure I saw Stack in predicted lineups. I think I'm going to just risk it regardless. Like, let's see, Leeds, Longstaff, Ampadu and Stack is what Scout would predict him. What do we have on my site for the predicted lineups? By the way, if you want to become a member of my site, 58p a week, and you get loads of stuff like the predicted lineups. And I think, yeah, we had the same three: Stack, Ampadu, and Longstaff. Oh yeah, if you guys are interested, we could do another giveaway. Give away 3 premium memberships for the FPL Focal app and FPL.page. Yeah, if you're interested, you go to FPL.page or FPL Focal in the App Store. Most of it is free stuff in here. You've got like your live rank checker, bonus points, you can toggle XG, hide completed games, DCs as well, you can toggle bonus there. What else have we got? Fixture ticker tool, top 10k stats, team odds, which is the one that you see in streams a lot. So we've got the clean sheet odds, projected goals there, player odds as well. So Haaland is top, 0.83 projected goals this week. Then it's salaries like Ekatike, Mateta, Gyökeres. Captaincy guide, that's interesting. Salah and Haaland both 5 stars. And then Saka, Gyökeres and Gabriel. Not that anyone's captaining Gabriel. Expected data, Gameweek wrapped, top transfers, statistics. This is a new feature. Presets, so you can go like, these are ones that I've built that you can use, like Defcon defenders. So like boom, Senesi 12.84 Defcons per 90 is top, 86% success rate. We've got the Players League as well, so you can see what footballers are doing with their FPL teams. Sometimes interesting stuff there, and loads more. Anyway, yeah, we'll give away some premium season memberships as well. I'll just tweet as well, and then we'll do it in a minute. So I'm going to put a code on the screen, and on the app, if you go to become a member, it'll ask you to enter a code, and it'll be the code on screen. You're guessing the code already. Why? What do you think the code is then? So this is going to give you completely free premium membership for the whole season. So yeah, I would risk it, Matteo, in terms of the bench boost there of Caicedo. Gone on a bit of a tangent there. Gameweek 8. That is not the coupon. It is. We are so back. First ones to enter that get free premium membership. If you want to just support the site anyway, it's like 58p a week and you get loads of features. You get like dashboard customization as well. You can move the widget order around. You can change the theme, premium features on widgets, articles written by me, predicted lineups. So yeah, if you're interested anyway, if you miss out, then yeah, consider that if you'd like to support me. We are so back is the code there. Let me just check they've all been claimed. Gone. Well done to whoever got them. Right, back to the questions. Anurag says, hi Oscar, help with this. 0.1 million in the bank, 5 free transfers. Richard Senesi, Gabriel Stack, Bruno Semenyo, Reinders, Pedro Haaland, Gyökeres. With Ndai, Tarkowski, Anderson on the bench, 0.1 million. He also had the bench boost left. Is it worth it? Probably not with Ndai and Tarkowski and Anderson with those fixtures, no. You could potentially use it in Game Week 9 instead, but I don't think you need to make a transfer. Oh, you've got 5. You know what I'd be tempted to do if I was you? I would do Ndai to Enzo, because you've got 5 free transfers, and if Enzo doesn't play, you've got Stack off the bench. So I would start Enzo over Stack, and if he doesn't play, you get Stack off the bench, and then you're still on 5 transfers next week. And then if you need to, you could sort of set up any tweaks to the bench boost, but I wouldn't bench boost. Even if you do buy Enzo, I wouldn't bench boost because it's risky if he plays or not. But that's what I would do. And die to Enzo, and you still have 5 free transfers next week. And you've got Stack for cover. Where's Lil Teddy? Family just picked him up, so he's gone out for a walk. Rosa says, 3 free transfers. Do I use one on Tarkowski to Gw8 or Richards? Have you got any good cover, Rosa? Like, surely you've got a 4 mil defender. And this week, all the 4 mil defenders have good fixtures, so I don't think you need to do it this week. Like, if you've got a Stev, he's home to Leeds, play him. If you've got Brodon or Gudmundsson, Burnley away, obviously they're playing each other, but it could be like a cagey game, I would just play them. Or if you've got Mukiele or Alderete, it's Wolves home, play them. So no, I wouldn't do that. I don't think you need to. Jake Harper says, important question, bacon or sausage bap? Is that, what's R or B sauce? R or B? Is that ketchup? What's R or B sauce? So first of all, sausage bap for me. Controversial tip opinion probably, but I prefer a sausage bap. R or B sauce. If I was having a sausage bap, I would have ketchup in it. Red or brown? Red. Bacon Man says, read my name. Yeah, sausage bap with ketchup. What's everyone's favourite takeaway? You're on death's row and you can have one final meal. What are you having? FPL Hazard says, do I bench boost? Same bench as you, but Alderete for Mukiele. Yeah, I would, Hazard. He's been in training, so I think it's just you get it out of the way. Crepes. You'll have crepes. Korean food, Indian, Hungarian. Cereal. You're on death row and they're like, what's your last meal? And you just ask for some cornflakes. No, I don't believe you. Lasagna, pizza, barbecue, Domino's. Dono pizza. That sounds so unhealthy, but who cares? It's your last meal. Pizza. Viking. What's Viking food? Thai, pizza, KFC, Texas barbecue, Peshwari naan. I can't believe someone said cereal. Full roast is a good shout, yeah. I think I'd go. I think I'd go Domino's as well, or some kind of pizza. You said I'm for real. I love my cereal in the morning. It's part of my routine. Yeah, but this is like your last meal. I guess if it was last breakfast, like fair enough. But it might be your last meal. Did I miss a few messages? Hang on. Where's Tuna? Yeah, we did talk about Tarkowski. It was the same thing I was saying just now, like, do you have a 4 mil defender that you can play instead? Because they've all got good fixtures this week, so I don't think you have to rush to sell Tarkowski. And you've got triple Arsenal ready. Rizab says, I've got 5.1 million and I need a defender for my bench boost to replace Nico Williams. Any pointers? How much is Burn? Can you afford Burn, or is he 5.2 now? Burn. 5.1. Perfect. I would say Burn. Does depend on the rest of your defence though. Like, if you've got no 4 mil defenders, then I would go for Mukiele or Rodon, if that makes sense, because you don't want to spend too much on your defence. I think there's so much value in the 4 mil defenders that you can afford to get someone like a Mukiele if you don't have a 4 mil defender already. If you do, then I would say Burns probably the best option for 5.1 mil. Only Arsenal have got a better expected goals conceded this season. T Salama says Van de Ven and Kudus to Richards and Enzo/Sarr, both for 1 or none. 4 free transfers and you might bench boost. Salah and Haaland team. Pedro, DCL, Semenyo, Reinders and stacked remaining attack. I would say... I'd say you can bench boost that, but I probably wouldn't make the transfers. Reason being, and this is why I'm not doing Ndiaye to Sarr this week, is because potentially buying Enzo next week in Gameweek 9 might be better than buying Sarr now, longer term. Because Palmer's out for like 6 weeks, so first of all, Enzo should be even more advanced. Probably on pens, could be João Pedro. Sarr's great as well though, but I think I prefer Enzo right now. But I'd rather buy him next week. I wouldn't buy him now to bench boost, if that makes sense. Unless something comes up during the stream and we get some news on Enzo. But right now, as it stands, I'm rolling and then buying Enzo next week, if that makes sense. So that's my train of thought on that one. And also, Kudus has got a better fixture than Ndiaye. Van de Ven to Richards feels a little bit sideways as well. So I would roll to 5 and bench boost if I were you. And then you could attack it next week after the bench boost. Should be in a good position there. Freak Van der Gulik says, thoughts on Gyökeres to Isak and Foden to Enzo. Isak. Is he even guaranteed to start, first of all, this week, let alone every game moving forward for like, what is he, 10.4 million or something? I'm not sold on Isak at all right now. He would need to be on his peak form of last season for me to consider him, and he's just nowhere near that right now. He's not even nailed right now, arguably. And when he does start, there's going to be games where he comes off early for Ekitike, so I just don't like Isak at all. I definitely wouldn't make those moves. I think Foden to Enzo as well. It just doesn't make sense when Foden's got Everton home. Maybe Foden to Enzo in Gameweek 9, but I wouldn't do either of those moves. Kvaz says Richarlison to Thiago for the long term, now or later. If you've bench boosted already, I think the better play is to wait. Or wait, sorry. You could wait and then downgrade Richarlison in Gameweek 9 and just bench him this week if you can. Or if you've got a couple of transfers, you downgrade Richarlison to someone like a Gw or a Marshall, cheap forward, and then upgrade a mid and go 3-5-2. But yeah, if you still need to bench boost, it's quite limited options around that price. Thiago is probably the best one. But yeah, it does depend because people are on different chip strategies, right? And if you've like already used your bench boost, then you can afford to have a dead spot last on your bench, and that's where Richarlison to Gw makes sense to me. Or Marshall from West Ham or Obi from Man United. You know, like one of those 4.3, 4.4 mil forwards. And then you have a strong midfield. Because right now, I think the value's in the midfields, not the forwards. Which is generally how it's always been in FPL, but it definitely feels like that right now. Any Chelsea leagues? No, I don't know if you really get Chelsea leagues. I will have a look. Nothing. Right, back to the questions. Zelda said, thanks for 28 months, by the way, says, is Bruno to Saka and Gyökeres to Bowen 2 sideways? No hit. Oh. It's a really nice pair of moves as well. And it's one of those, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Saka starts to hit form now, and Bowen's like a proven FPL asset as well, but so is Bruno. I don't think I would do it. It feels like one of those that really could go either way. Like, I still think Bruno's a solid asset, but I don't dislike it, Zelda. I don't dislike it. I think it's okay. I think it's a small upgrade. It is an upgrade, but a small one. Ferruzzi says I would do it. It does look nice, doesn't it, when I say it out loud? Bruno to Saka, Gyökeres to Bowen. It all hinges on West Ham like hitting some form now under Nuno, and I think that's very possible. It's very possible we see a new manager bounce. Like, Potter's gone, Nuno's great, top manager. Yeah, I don't hate it, Zelda. It is. I think it is a little bit of an upgrade, yeah. Also depends on how many transfers you're on. Like, if you've got 2 free transfers and using them both on that, I'm not as keen. But if you're in a luxury position where you've got 4, for example, I think you can afford to be a bit more ambitious like that, make those kind of moves. I mean, I've got 4 transfers and I'm not looking to do that this week, but I don't hate it. If you've got a gut feeling about that, I'd say go for it. Bench boost mob, raise your hand, says Niels. Yeah, we did a poll earlier and quite a few had those active. So hits this season, 69% haven't taken one, 19% have taken 1, 8% have taken 2, 4% have taken minus 12 or more in total this season. So let us know how many players you got from the scout selection. This week it is Areola in goal. That's surprising. Gabriel, Vardiol, Chalobah. I guess that makes sense actually with Nuno, new manager bounce. Saka, Semenyo, Kudus, Enzo, Haaland, Bowen and João Pedro. They've done like a bench boost team here. Dubravka, Xhaka, Mukiele and Rodon. How many players have you got from the team? Just 3, Adam. So for me it'll be Gabriel, Vardiol, Semenyo, Haaland and João Pedro. So 5 for me. Or if I include the bench, it's 7. Four, 6, 7. If I count on the bench, and I'm on 7 this week. Yeah, it's a good team to be fair. Obviously, it depends on Enzo. I think if they'd done that team today, they would have gone Sarr over Enzo, just because of the flag. Is Enzo starting? Well, he's not been seen in training. That's the thing. That's why I'm probably not going to buy him and I'll just roll this week. And then I'll have 5 free transfers, game week 9. Areola. Yeah, well, that was my initial thought as well. Why Areola? But obviously they're back in a new manager bounce under Nuno, which is very possible. I think my chat is frozen here. Oh, we back? Yep. Oh wow, I've missed loads of messages. Holy. Oh my god, am I that behind? Oh my god. Where did I get to here? Tuna says Tarkowski to Juve or Chelsea / Newcastle / Vardiol / Munoz. You've got Gabriel, Senesi, Gudmundsson and Anderson playing the bench boost. If you can afford Vardiol, I still think he's great. I know Aït-Nouri's back, but I think he's their best defender. So even if it's centre-back, that's fine. Got an assist last game week from centre-back, in fairness. I would say out of all the options, I still like Vardiol. For the bench boost, yeah. That's what I would do, Tuner, if you can afford that in one. K Gatti says, would you start Mukiele or Stack? I would start Stack between those two. Play the attacker, chase the upside. I mean, some Leeds fans have been saying Stack might not start. From what I gather from researching it, I think he should be alright. He didn't play well before the break, but the predicted lineups have got Ampadu, Longstaff and Stack in midfield. So I think he'll be okay. Paredes, thanks for the 11 months, says, what's Alderete and João Pedro and Enzo latest injury updates? So Alderete has been seen in training. He came off injured for Paraguay over the international break. Manager said something like, we'll have to see after training, something along those lines. And he was spotted in training, so I think he's okay. João Pedro's fine, he's trained, no problem there. Enzo, Maresca said he's not trained, and he wasn't pictured in any of the training photos or videos, so he's the doubt, Enzo. Novus, thanks for the 36 months, 3 years. Says, hi, Virgil, Bruno, Evan Nilsson to Gw8, Saka and Voldemort. Virgil, Bruno, Evan Nilsson, Gw8, Saka. No, I don't think I'd do that. I'm not sure that's an upgrade, you know, let alone for 3 transfers. Van Dijk, Bruno and Evan Nilsson to Gw8, Saka and Voltemada. I'm not sure that's an upgrade, honestly. I wouldn't do that. I don't think I'll do any of those moves. No, I wouldn't do any of that. Anurag says, messaged you about having 5 free transfers. And you said, and die to Enzo to play him over Stack, but you're short by 0.1 million, so should I burn a transfer or something else? Ah, okay. Let's go back to your message. So you had Richard Senesi. God, imagine burning a transfer when you're on 5. No, there's always something you can do, like selling Tarkowski perhaps. So you've got Richard Senesi, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Anderson. Ah, okay, yeah, 0.1 million. Maybe Tarkowski to burn. Although Richard Senesi, Gabriel. Double check the fixture rotations on this, Anurag, but you've got no 4-mil defenders, and I think it makes sense to have one, because like this season the 4-mil defenders are so much better value than any previous season. Like last season people weren't running with Bednarek and those sorts of guys really, but this season they are playable in some game weeks. Like this week you can start Estev, you can start Rodon, Gudmundsson, Mukiele, Alderete. And you've got Richard, Senesi, Gabriel, Tarkowski and Anderson. So you could do Tarkowski all the way down to a 4-mil defender. Yeah, I would consider that. Which one is the question then? Rodon or Mukiele? I really like Mukiele. If we go back to that, what I was showing you earlier. If we go to statistics, load presets, DEFCON defenders. Look, only Senesi's got more DEFCONs per 90 than Mukiele. So that's why I picked him up on the wildcard. I think he's amazing for 4 mil. And people were saying, oh, he's going to lose his spot to Ballard. That's not happening. People are just thinking because Ballard scored in Gameweek 1 or whatever it was that he's going to come and replace Mukiele. It's not happening. I mean, there is a world where Mukiele goes right back depending on injuries and that sort of thing. And obviously Reinildo suspended, but Mukiele's safe. If any of Sunderland fans are watching, I'm sure they could attest to that as well. So I would consider that Anurag, basically. And then you've got the option to buy Enzo next week. So hopefully that all makes sense. You might even be able to do it selling someone else as well, with the money you're going to free up there. Right, let me work out where I got to here. I probably need to answer questions quicker than that. Akshat says start 2 of Van de Ven and Van Dijk, Mukiele and Bruno. Start in 2, so start Bruno and start Van Dijk. Bruno and Van Dijk. I know it doesn't make sense because they play each other, but I would play them both. Because like if you start Bruno and bench Van Dijk, what if Van Dijk keeps a clean sheet or scores and keeps a clean sheet and Bruno blanks, or vice versa? So sometimes you have to play both. So that's what I would do. Zelda says, is Bruno to Saka and Gyökeres to Bowen 2 sideways, no hit? Did we not answer this one already? I think we already did. I basically said I think it's a little bit of an upgrade. I wouldn't do it myself, but I don't dislike it. I think it is a little bit of an upgrade, but it does cost you 2 transfers for that little upgrade. It's like, just the question is, and I don't know the rest of your team, will those 2 transfers go further in other spots in your team, whether it's this week or next, if you don't make any moves? Don't know that without seeing the rest of your team, but I think Saka and Bowen are really nice to buy this week. So if you've got a gut feeling about that, earlier I was saying do it. I think I start Mukiele or stack. Yeah, I did do that, stack. Sorry, so I've got 3 free transfers and I'm leaning towards selling them Bumo. Who would you get instead? Sar, Enzo, Bowen. 2 free transfers needed with selling Gw8, or stick with Mbumo. I think I'd stick with him one more week and then buy Enzo in Gameweek 9. Assuming it's not a serious problem with Enzo, which I don't think it is at all. He might even play this week. I'm going to buy Enzo in Gameweek 9 instead now, instead of Gameweek 8. Sar's great, but is Enzo better long term? Potentially. I think he potentially could be. So I would say stick with him one more week. And Liverpool away is not the same fixture that it was last season. It feels like this Liverpool team can be got at more. So I think just leave Mbumo in. Mfon says Gyökeres and Foden and Saka to Saka. Sorry. Gyökeres, Foden, Xavi to Saka, Sar and Burn. Thoughts? 2 hits? Nah, I wouldn't take 2 hits for that. Foden's got Everton home. I wouldn't sell Gyökeres either. Xavi, I know you could replace him, but I would do nothing if I was you. Or you do Xavi. Xavi to Sar is fine. I think you do that. Leave the rest. And if you want to make the other 2 moves next week, then you could consider it then. But I wouldn't do 2 hits for that, no. Just do the 1 move for free. Keep Foden and Gyökeres for another week. Denise says, start 2 out of Rodon, Burn, Senesi and Romero. I would start Rodon and Burn out of those. I think they'll have the best clean sheet odds as well. Joker Dan says, start Van de Ven and Alderete or Anthony or Ndai. Alderete over Van de Ven. Anthony or Ndai. I'm not actually sure what the Anthony situation is, but I'm guessing he either plays or doesn't at all. So start Anthony over Ndai. Ndai's got Man City. Anthony's got Leeds home. Alderete and Anthony. Andre says Gabriel and Porro and either Van de Ven or Senesi. Gabriel over Porro. Senesi over Van de Ven, I would say. Or can you start Porro and Gabriel? Is that what you're saying? If it's X or Y, then it's Gabriel and Senesi. If it's which 2 of those 4, then Gabriel and Porro to start. Jake Harper says bench boost with... I've lost it. Bench boost of Enzo. Benches to Bravko, João Pedro, Porro and Anderson. If that's your bench, then yeah, I would use it, because that's a really strong bench, despite the Enzo doubt, Jake, yeah. If that's actually your bench, definitely. I think it's worth using it, because João Pedro's great, Porro's great, Dubravka nice fixture. It's just Anderson, but those other players could make up for it if Enzo doesn't play. The Busted Flush says, front 3 on a wildcard, thoughts and thought, Enzo start percent. I would say Enzo's like... Right now, it feels like about 40%. So still a chance, but less likely than likely, just about. So front 3 on a wild card. this was the wildcard I put together earlier. It's got 1.1 million in the bank as well. And this assumes that you've used your bench boost already. If you haven't used your bench boost, then you go Foster or Calvert-Lewin over Marshall. So João Pedro, Haaland, and then Marshall, dead spot. Or you go for a cheap third forward like Calvert-Lewin or Foster. Thoughts on Thor? I've not looked at him at all. Obviously Newcastle's defence has been elite, and if he's expected to keep playing, then yeah, I think he's great. Any Newcastle fans, can you let us know what happens when Hall is back? Is it going to be Burn and Botman centre back, or is it going to be Burn and Thor, or is there any risk there? Because you could just go Burn and play it safe. I know he might play left back for a bit, but Burn might be the more sensible pick. Per Hansen says, thinking Timber, Caicedo and Xhaka. I'm on a bench boost. On a bench boost. Depends who you're selling. Caicedo is a slight risk. I think he probably does start. But Maresca said he's not trained. But yeah, I think those three are great. Don't really have a problem with buying those three, but it depends who you're selling as well. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, I think that's fine, Handsome. Rio, thanks for the 18 months. Should I go Esteve to Mukiele? Is your bench boost active? No, I think that's quite sideways. Esteve is home to Leeds. I know Mukiele's got the slightly better clean sheet odds, but that's pretty sideways, spending a transfer on former defenders. Yeah, my bench boost is active. So my bench is Dubravka, Stack, Mukiele and Anderson. But if I had Esteve over Mukiele, I wouldn't be making that transfer. Bear with, I'm still going through the questions here. Chris says, if you could meet any footballer, who would it be? It'd be Messi for me. I think he's the GOAT. I know some of you think Ronaldo. But for me, it's Messi. Like, he's my favourite footballer of all time. You can see here, that's a signed Messi World Cup final shirt. I don't think you can see that. Signed there. I guess you can't see that. There's the play buttons. And there's the screenshot of when I was rank 1. Who would you guys want to meet if you could meet any footballer? How much would Messi cost in FPL? Peak Messi. If it like are we talking like 11, 12 Messi? It might probably be like 16 million, wouldn't he? Or more. Henry, Vinnie Jones, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. Cruyff is a good shout. Tony Hibbert. Patrick Vieira. Hazard. You've met Wayne Rooney. Wow. You'd love to meet Crouch. Crouch is a good shout. I think he'd be like a good laugh and comfortable to talk to. Obviously, Messi would be a bit awkward because of the language barrier. Zlatan would be interesting. Do any of you watch John Nellis? He did a video where he tried to get hugs from 100 footballers. And one of them was Zlatan. And he was like, Zlatan, can I have a hug? And he's like, no. Just a photo. But pretty much all of them said yes to the hug. Oh, starting to feel sick. I forgot to eat today. So Dan's a good shout. I'd like to meet Esteve and just thank him for the clean sheet in Gameweek 2. Bolu says, hey Oscar, love the channel. Gw8, Calafiori and Voltamada and Xhaka or Richards, Gabriel, DCL and then die on the wildcard. Already used the bench boost. Gotta beat Thierry. Thierry's a good shout. Go eat. I haven't got anything to hand. I'm sure it'll pass in a minute. I think it's because my tummy's rumbling so much. Gw8, Calafiori, Voltamada and Xhaka, Richards, Gabriel, DCL and then die on the wildcard. You already used the bench boost. I would say the second combination is better, but I would have Enzo or Sar over in Die. This was the wildcard draft I put together, if you want to compare notes. Oh, I'm struggling here. That's the wildcard team I put together, so it's similar players, but if you've bench boosted already, I wouldn't have DCL win, I don't think. Sean says, Dubravka, Stev, Van der Ven and Stack on the bench. Shall I bench boost or start a Stev over Senesi? Dubravka, Stev, yeah, I'd bench boost that. I think a Stev on the bench is fine. It doesn't really matter on a bench boost. Like, if you're bench boosting Senesi instead, no problem. Either way, it's like 15 out of 15 players. Yeah, I would bench boost that, Sean. FPL Mikkel, thanks for the 43 months. You doing any subs today? You want to move Fernandez? I'm not. I think some... I mean, have any of you got Bruno and any of you selling him? I think some people are doing like Bruno to Sar. If Enzo was like 100%, I think a lot of people would be doing Bruno to Enzo. But if you can get to Saka in like one transfer, that's kind of quite appealing as well. But no, I'm happy to keep Bruno for now, myself. So I'm going to roll, is the plan. Unless something in the next half an hour pops up where like Enzo's with the squad or there's a leaky start. So otherwise I'm going to roll. Before we forget, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be king of the game week 8? It was Semenyo, 18 points in game week 7. Predictions in the chat. What do you guys think? P Drizzle says, I've got Enzo and Alturede. Should I still bench boost? It depends on the rest of your bench, Drizzle. It's hard to say about knowing, because if you've got a really strong bench, like that earlier question, then I think you still do. Otherwise, if you can, I'd probably leave it a week. But then I think Alderete's got a bad fixture in game week 9. It depends on the rest of your bench. If you've got a strong bench, then just go for it anyway. Otherwise, save it. That's what it boils down to, basically. If the rest of your bench can cover it, if you've got a strong bench. Like someone earlier was bench boosting like João Pedro and Stack like they had, so that's just a really strong bench. Alderete should be alright, but yeah, otherwise I would save it. Depends on the rest of your bench. Timber, Lacroix, Haaland, Gyökeres, Paquetá, Saliba, Bowen, Salah, Eze, Xavi with 2 goals and an assist, Wirtz, Munoz, Bowen, Salah. Kano, thanks for the 19 months. 2 free transfers. Gyökeres to João Pedro. Tarkowski to Timber. What's the plan for Stack? I don't think I would do that. Have you got someone you can play instead of Tarkowski? It's just one of those. It feels like Gyökeres and João Pedro, neither are doing much recently, and it could go either way this game week, I think. They could both do well. So I just think when it's like that, is it worth a transfer? Tarkowski to Timber is an upgrade, don't get me wrong. But 2 transfers, assuming Gyökeres and João Pedro is kind of sideways, is it worth spending 2 transfers just to swap Tarkowski to Timber? Like, have you got someone else you can start ahead of him this week? Like, if you've got Gabriel, Senesi, and a 4-mil defender, I think that's fine. You just bench Tarkowski. Is Saliba to Gabriel too sideways? Yeah, I probably wouldn't spend a transfer on that, Danny. I know Gabriel scored the other day, and he's doing well recently, doing better, but I don't think so. You met Maradona at the airport in Paris 19 years ago. That's crazy. I'm very jealous of that. Wow. How we doing, British? Good to see you, mate. Reinders with a farewell, 2 assists and a clean sheet. I'll take that, Wellstone. I'll take 1 assist, honestly. The only returns I've got from him was back in Game Week 1. I benched him against Arsenal when he got the assist, wasn't it? And DEFCON. And then he didn't actually get DEFCON in the end, but they already locked the points in. Luisito Alpha, thanks for the super chat. Bench boost active. Watkins and Rogers out. You can do Enzo and Rice / Gyökeres. Nothing in the bank. Or Saka plus Foster, Isidore and DCL in and leave money for a second Arsenal defender. What to do? Oh, you're joking. I've got a food delivery and they've just sent a text saying we're going to be with you earlier in 10 minutes. I'll have to ask them to leave at the door. I'm not going to get that. Watkins and Rogers out. Enzo and Rice, Gyökeres. On a bench boost, I wouldn't buy Enzo. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm bench boosting, but not buying Enzo. What about Sarr? If you want to sell Rogers, what about Sarr? Sarr and Gyökeres. Sarr and Gyökeres or Saka and DCL. That's really close. I just don't like DCL. I don't like Foster long term. Does anyone else feel like that? Like I'm seeing... I just don't think DCL is a good long term hold. It's a great fixture this week, but I just don't like him. I don't like him as an FPL asset. He's such a shocking finisher. So I would say Sarr and Gyökeres, personally. I would consider that. I wouldn't buy Enzo and probably not Rice. So yeah, Sarr and Gyökeres if you're doing that. Mary says, Yo Oscar, love the channel. Bench boosting this week. Dubravka, Steb, Mukiele and Foster. Yeah, I'd bench boost that. That's like 4 solid players on your bench. You're not going to get a better opportunity in all likelihood, so I would bench boost that. You'd be leaving it massively up to chance to try and get a better bench than that. Especially with like Burnley assets. Their fixtures are pretty poor after. So I would use that definitely now. Jake says, sorry, Elliot Anderson, not Anderson. So bench boost is still on. Oh, sorry, let me find your message again. Yeah, I mean, it's even better. So yeah, it's even better if you've got Elliot Anderson. I thought you meant Fulham's Anderson. So yeah, Elliot Anderson even better. Yeah, go for it, Jake. Ricardo says, hi Oscar, start Van der Ven or Senesi or both and bench and die. Also, get something to eat, man. Good luck everyone for the game. I'm alright now. Just for a minute there, I felt sick because I hadn't eaten anything. And obviously sit here talking for hours and I've not had anything. I've not even had a tea. Van der Ven or Senesi or both and then die. And bench and die. I would start and die just about and start Senesi. So I think Van der Ven I wouldn't start. Yeah, thank you, Ricardo. That's what I would do. Senesi, start and die. Max, thank you for the super chat as well. Appreciate you. Chimarem says bench 1, Van der Ven, Senesi, Munoz, Rodon and Van Dijk. I would say Van der Ven out of those. So start Senesi, start Munoz, start Rodon, start Van Dijk, bench Van der Ven. Kay says start Thiago, Mukiele or Gw8. Also, which one should be first on the bench in case Enzo doesn't start? You've got to start Thiago. You've got to start a striker, let alone a striker on penalties. When it's close like that, I favour the attacker generally. Because attackers have got more upside. Like Mukiele and Gw8, really you'd be happy if they just get you 6 points, clean sheet. Or if you're lucky, like Defcon, but that's quite unlikely. Whereas strikers, I know it's not that likely that he scores, but his ceiling's higher. Centre-backs don't really get goal involvements, do they? But a striker could get a couple of returns, like Thiago. So definitely start Thiago. And that's a good rule of thumb when you've got close ones like that. Favour the attacker. Mukiele ahead of Gw8 on the bench, I would say as well. Kano says Tarkowski, Anderson and Foster / stack bench boost. Probably not, just because of the Foster flag. Plus Tarkowski and Anderson have got bad fixtures. I would say no, Kano, just about. I wouldn't do that. There's too much I don't like about that bench. Fudgy says, Dubravka, Caicedo, Alderete and Esteve do I bench boost? Yeah, I'd bench boost that. Again, like, I know it's like a bit dodgy when you've got these Formula players, but you're not going to get a better bench. You want to have the minimal amount spent on your bench and FPL generally. And when you're spending that much, it's rare that you're also going to have good fixtures line up. Like Dubravka home to Leeds, Alderete home to Wolves. I would use it, yeah. Definitely. Random guy says, bench boost, team is mine, but you've got... what is that? Voltemada and Van der Ven instead of Anderson and Pedro. Yeah? I mean, it's arguably slightly better. Your bench there. So you're basically saying you've got Van der Ven on the bench instead of Anderson. Starting 11 is irrelevant. You're saying Van der Ven instead of Anderson, so that's an even better bench. So yeah, definitely use it. Connor says, bench boost active. You're going with Pickford, Kudus and Gabriel. Muniz is out, but I'm not risking a transfer hit just to replace a bench player. Feels like the upside doesn't justify the cost this week. So you've already made your moves and it'd be a hit to sell Muniz. Yeah, a tricky one. So what's your bench? Are you saying it's Pickford, Kudus and Gabriel? Surely not. I get it. Like, if you could do something for free, I would do Muniz to Calvert-Lewin. But for a hit, yeah, I get it. You'd need him to minimum assist. Oscar, you're the best FPL content creator. I don't know if that's true, but thank you very much. There's some unbelievable content creators in this space, but yeah, I appreciate you for saying that. Yeah, I get what you mean, Connor. For a hit, probably not. Good luck on the bench boost. Hopefully it's a good week for it. Oscar, you're such a cutie pie. Are we flattering me now, are we? Ah, there's the gate. Hello? Alright, thank you. I'll just open it. Two secs. Right, sorry. Still no cat. I keep forgetting about the cat. Right. What was the question? It was Jay donated $1,000. What is that username? What two midfielders under 6.5 million would you suggest on a free hit? Sarr, definitely. Probably Reinders for the second one. Or Paquetá. Paquetá and Sarr. I'd go with that. Those are the ones that immediately sprung to mind. Sarr, definitely. The other one, because Enzo, yeah, you don't risk that. So you could go, yeah, probably Paquetá or Reinders. I think Paquetá would be the one. Have your butler open the gate. Can you do a swivel on your chair? Do a spin on your swivelly chair. Why have the questions fallen off in the last 15 minutes of the stream? What is going on? No, I can't swivel. I don't want to knock anything. I don't want to knock the cable out the mic. Thank you for the 2 months. Hey Oscar, who are you selling for Enzo this week? I'm not now. I'm rolling. I do need to just check, actually. I know I've left some questions there. We'll get back to them. I just want to check if there's been any news or anything I've missed while we've been live. Nothing there. Let's check Twitter. Nothing. So I'm not going to risk it. I would love to buy Enzo if I knew he was starting, but I just don't know that he starts. So I can't risk it. I just can't risk it. think there's anything I've missed. No. So yeah, I'll be rolling. I'll take a screenshot in a minute and post it before I forget. Is the plant in your background named Andy or Harry? Oh, that's Harry. Harry the plant. What kind of plant is that? I actually don't know what it is. I love plants though. I've got so many plants. Shout out to anyone that likes houseplants. Yeah, they're everywhere here. My girlfriend hates them, but I like them, so I won. It's a green plant. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, honestly. I'm not good with the names. I just like see them and buy them if I like them. I love plants. What a quote. I love lamp. Right, sorry. Let me get through these questions. So I'm not making a move to answer the question on Enzo. Milkman says, "Hey, Mr. Focal, start and die or Malik Joof?" Oh, good question. I would say Joof, just about. Nah, I think Ndai, gut feeling Ndai. That's 50-50 if I'm honest. Like, Joof, super attacking fullback. He won't get you defcons, but he can get you the assist and clean sheet. But I'd say Ndai just about. British says I'm crying, I just sold Joof. I think we're going to have to pause super chats because I want to make sure I get through all of these. Stephen Gallagher says, "Hi mate, would you do Bruno and Watkins to Evan Nilsson? Sorry, Bruno and Watkins / Evan Nilsson to Saka and João Pedro from -4. If doing one move, then which would you prioritise?" From -4, I'd prioritise the João Pedro. I would do Watkins to João Pedro and not take the hit for Saka. Keep Evan Nilsson, keep Bruno. I wouldn't take the hit for it personally. I don't like Bruno to Saka for a hit myself. Famous last words if Saka hauls and Bruno gets sent off or misses another pen, but I wouldn't take the hit for that. Just do the one move. CFJW, bench booster Bravka, Anderson, Stack and Tarkowski. 3 free transfers. I would. I'd be tempted to sell Tarkowski though. You know, like Burn or something like that. Or if you haven't got a 4 mil defender, same advice I gave someone earlier. If you don't have a 4 mil defender, I'm guessing you might do, but if you don't, you go Tarkowski all the way down to a Rodon or Mukiele and then bench boost that. You could just do Tarkowski to Burn, for example. Burn might play left back. That's the only downside to him until Hall returns, but Newcastle defence has been unbelievable, so I like Burn. Is there anyone else? I'm guessing you've got Senesi. Lacroix. Would I go Lacroix instead? Let's have a quick look at the fixtures. So Palace have got Bournemouth, Arsenal, Brentford. Newcastle have got Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Brentford. They've both got great fixtures, to be fair. I'd probably say Lacroix. Tarkowski to Lacroix, if you haven't got him. I quite like that, actually. Ndai to Rice. No, I think you want to save your Arsenal slots for the defenders. Maybe Saka, maybe Gyökeres. Yeah, what do you think about that, CFJW? And people listening. Tarkowski to Lacroix as a long-term hold. Senesi's essential. I don't think he is for the upcoming fixtures, you know. Like, Palace and Forest isn't too bad, but then it's Man City. Villa, yeah, not bad. But Gameweek 12, yeah, I think you'd really want to have him Gameweek 12 again. Tuna says, Raya Pope to... Hang on. Raya Bruno to Pope and Saka. Nah. I don't think that's worth 2 transfers. Don't think it's worth using 2 on that. It's not terrible, but I just don't know if that's worth using 2 transfers, honestly. Ryan Bruno's great. Like, I plan to keep both. I might change my mind, but right now I don't think I like that. So I'll just be keeping them. Is Alderete fine on a free hit? If you're on a free hit, just get Mukiele. He's also 4 mil. Or I think Alderete's 4-1. That's FPL Raptors transfer. What's he done? Raya and Bruno to Pope and Saka. Has he actually? Oh yeah, but he doesn't like Bruno as much as me. Like, we were talking about it in our group chat. Like, he was winding me up because I really rate Bruno. But he doesn't like Bruno. And he's a Man United fan as well, to be fair. So maybe he's right. But I've still got faith in Bruno. Let me take a quick screenshot of my team. 10 minutes till the deadline. Make sure your bench is in the right order, guys. Captain sorted. In fact, let's stick a captain poll up as well. Who is your captain? So we'll go... I mean, is there even much point? Is anyone not going... We haven't done one the whole stream, so if you go other, let us know in chat who your other is. I've just gone Haaland, Salah and Saka on the poll. So, Gameweek 5, roll to 5 free transfers, bench boost active. Right, that's done. Mr. F says, final team is Pope, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Timber, Enzo, Saka, Semenyo, Reinders, Paquetá, Haaland, João Pedro. Strand Larson on the bench. Mukiele, Rodon. Bench boost in Gameweek 9. Good luck, everyone. Oh, okay, yeah. The bench boost in 9. Got you. Nice team. Good luck, Mr. F. Hope you smash it with that team. It's really nice. And you've got nice depth as well if Enzo doesn't play. So, yeah, perfect. Busted Flush says, why is João Pedro over Mateta on the wildcard? My gut says Mateta. Yeah. You know what? I can't argue with that as well. Mateta's underlying data has been better than João Pedro's. I like João Pedro's fixtures a little bit more. There is that, but his data's been shocking. Like, look at the last 3 game weeks. The last 3 matches in a row, 0.03 XGI. So definitely from a data perspective, yeah, Mateta. And if you've got a gut feeling about that, go Mateta. It's just the potential pens. I guess Mateta's on them as well, isn't he now? But yeah, I like Chelsea's fixture slightly more. I don't dislike Mateta though, yeah. Lucas says, who's on Arsenal pens, Saka or Gyökeres? Well, Saka took the last match. So I'd say he is, but I still think there's a chance Gyökeres takes. I think it's going to be one of those, like, game by game. There isn't a clear number 1. This is my opinion, and it's probably an unpopular one, but I still think there isn't a clear number 1. I think it depends on who's feeling confident that match, who's been playing well that match, maybe who won the penalty. Edzo, thanks for the 15 months. Says bench 2 out of these 3, Ekdal, Senesi and Lacroix. I would bench Ekdal, start Senesi and Lacroix. I know they're playing each other, but I would start those 2. Bastelli says, what are your honest opinions on Man United assets after the Liverpool match this week? The bad run of fixtures is over and Old Trafford is solid again. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying Old Trafford's solid again, but I think Bruno's okay. I don't think I'd touch any other Man United assets if I was buying any. I think the others I'd consider selling. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just Bruno for Man United right now. And Bumo maybe. Cunha maybe, but just Bruno for me. 2 to bench, not 1. Sorry. Senesi and Ekdal. Sorry, Edzo. Grant says, Watkins to Voltemada or Bowen? Porro to Timber. I would buy a Bowen over Voltemada. Porro to Timber. Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, if you can do both, nice moves. Do it. Hang on, did you ask that twice? Did you super chat again to ask the same question in a row? Thank you, Grant. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I would do both moves. LM says, it says you've ticked triple captain and not bench boost. Wait, what? It says you tick triple captain, not bench boost, just in case people get confused. Oh, you mean on the left side? It just means what I've already used up. It doesn't mean I've got it active. Maybe that's a bit confusing. Does that make sense to you guys, how I've done it there? The cross against wildcard and bench boost means they're used up. The tick doesn't mean I've got it active, because obviously I'll kind of triple captain and free hit active, but that's what that means. Yeah, I'm bench boosting. It makes sense. Okay. I do get what you mean. Like, once I've used up a triple captain or free hit, it's going to have a check against one of them every week until I use it. So that might be a bit confusing, but I think right now it's quite clear. Simon says, thanks for the 11 months, by the way. Simon says, hi Oscar, bench one, Chalobah or Reinders? I would bench Chalobah, start Reinders. Chase the upside with the attacker there. So, with 5 minutes to go, what transfers has everyone made? Captain poll is 92% Haaland, 4% Salah, 2% Saka, 1% other. Right, let's have a quick look over here in case there's any last minute news. Still nothing. Yeah, nothing. Right. What transfers are you guys making? Esteve to Timber. Damn, that's a nice upgrade. Will Caicedo start? If I had to guess, I'd say will, but difficult to say. I think he will start. Enzo I'm less sure on, which is why I'm rolling now instead of doing Ndai to Enzo. I'll be on 5 free transfers after this, so I'll do Ndai to Enzo next week, assuming he's alright. Kano says, I'm thinking of the bench boost in Game Week 17 after the 5 free transfers went to free hit. God, I haven't thought that far ahead about the free hit. Maybe 13? There's some really nice fixtures on 13, I think it is. Game Week 13 is... Or is it 14? Or 12? Liverpool have got West Ham away. Yeah, Man City have got Leeds home. Bournemouth have got Sunderland away. Villa have got Wolves home. Maybe then, but God, I haven't thought that far ahead. Do you guys know when you're free hitting yet? Not sure, to be honest with you. Sorry about that. But bench boost after the 5 free transfers. If you can't find anywhere sooner, but I wouldn't count on it, Kano, because those 5 free transfers could be valuable for something else. But yeah, that could work. It's got potential. For anyone that doesn't know, in Game Week 16... Did I tweet Game Week 5? What am I doing? God. I've tweeted Game Week 5. Alright, 3 minutes till deadline. Let me quickly do that again. Game Week 5. Idiot. Why did I write Game Week 5? Alright, I'll do it again. Game Week... Was it Game Week 8? Wasn't even close. It wasn't like I was 1 week off. Right. Thank you for catching that. Brainless Focal, literally. Because 5 minutes till the deadline. Oh, yeah, I did. I said there's 5 minutes till the deadline. Maybe it was that. Right. Quick questions here. K. Gatti says, swap Stack and Mukiele for Bruno and Ndai. Easy wins for City and Liverpool. I would start Bruno, yeah. What are you asking here? To start Stack over Ndai? I'd start... I think I would start Stack over Ndai. Oh. No, I'd start Ndai. Ndai and Bruno. Are you talking about my team? I'm bench boosting anyway, so it doesn't actually matter if you mean my team. Franklin said... I've got to be really quick here. Franklin says, Bruno, Van der Ven, Lacroix, bench 1. I'd bench Van der Ven. Bench Van der Ven. Edsy says, quickly, Enzo or Kudus on a wild card? Enzo. Enzo on the wild card. Van der Ven for Gabriel Timber. Watkins of Altamada Bowen for -4. I would do Timber. No. I would do Watkins to Bowen. Save the hit on selling Van Dijk. You've got a minute. Always a stressful end to the streams. I would do Watkins to Bowen, yeah. I wouldn't do the Van Dijk out for a hit. Before you all go, I know you'll disappear as soon as it's the deadline, or pretty much now. Hit like before you go if you've liked this stream, or dislike it if you've disliked it. Van de Ven or Senesi, and hit subscribe as well. It's completely free. You can always change your mind later if you don't enjoy the content. I wouldn't trust Andy Martin. He'll troll with team news like that. That is it. 2 hour stream. Boom. Smashed it. Completed it. FPL is back. We've got some nice games on today as well. I've got a friend's birthday, so I'm going to head out after, I think, the 3 o'clock games. So what's the lineup for today? First game is Forest v Chelsea, and then it's Brighton v Newcastle, Burnley Leeds, Palace Bournemouth, City Everton, Sunderland Wolves, and then it's Fulham v Arsenal later. Right, we'll leave it there. We won't do a raid this week. Thank you everyone that has tuned into this stream, whether you just dipped in for the last few minutes or throughout. I hope you have a great game week. It's good to have FPL back. Hope you all get green arrows. Good luck this game week, everyone. That is it from me. Focal out.